Who would you cite as some of your musical influences?
I get a lot of guitar tapping techniques from Dave Knudsen from Minus the Bear. I've listened to a lot of Godspeed You Black Emperor, Zeros, Explosions in the Sky, stuff like that.
It's almost over, it's just begun. Don't overthink this, look in my eye. Don't be scared, don't be shy, come on in the waters.
Neat Nation, welcome back to the Droopy Whiskey Show.
Everyone, what is going on? It is Brian.
Neat Nation.
Everyone, what is going on? It is Brian. We are back.
Neat Nation, welcome back.
Everyone, what is going on? It is Brian.
Neat Nation, happy Thursday. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this thing that we do. Really, we just have fun talking about whiskey. Hope you all are having a killer Thursday. Mine was chaotic, but okay. I mean, it was like a fine chaos. As you come into the stream and join us here, I'm still trying to make sure that I've got good options for our draft, because while I did pick the punishment, I don't necessarily want to have to be the one to do that. I don't want to. And I tried to pick something that would be very entertaining to watch us sing. So just trying to make sure that I've got some good picks. And it's tough.
I'm laughing at Andrew Beck because we're flipping roles. You're in a hat and I am not in a hat. And it's confusing the people.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, because we look exactly alike otherwise. Brian, how are you doing today? How you it seems like had some running around last few days. I mean, it seems like you're always running around.
I'm just out there doing that thing. You know what I'm saying? Just out there.
What were you doing? Why don't you share with the folks what you were doing yesterday? What kind of company were you keeping?
Yesterday I was messaging Blake from Bourboner from Sealbox because I was ordering the new Mash and Journey, their ASW picks and the duality, and I ordered one of them, and then you could get one of each. They had two of them. I was like, I think I might get the other one. And so I asked him, like, how easy is that on your all system if I just place another order to kind of work it out to make sure they ship together, kick back one of the shipping or whatever it is. And then after a couple hour delay, he was like, oh, yeah, man, it's no problem. It's no problem. Where are you drinking tonight? I'm in Louisville. And I'm like, Blake, what?
Surprise.
It's like 8:30.
Blake move.
It's like 8:30. What are you doing? So he's like, come on out. And I'm like, well, you're at the spot right down the street from my house. So hung out for a little bit at the house, and then went out and met him. And he was he did this thing where he just reaches out apparently to people just to see what sticks. And there was a whole bunch of people there. So it was gosh, why am I forgetting? It's Jordan from Rolling Fork Rum. You met Jordan from Rolling Fork Rum when we were at Starlight. And then Brian, who wrote Bourbon Justice. He's also on the round table with the Pursuit
Brian
guys.
Hara.
Yeah, Brian Hara. So he was there. Travis Hill was there. So we just kind of hung out, sipped some rums, and then Blake and I went to another place after that, grabbed a beer, and then I watched him stagger his way into his hotel. So
was it that bad?
No, it wasn't. I'm just giving him crap.
Okay.
But yeah, he had a full day today. So,
but picking, right? I mean, do you want to spoil, or is that? I don't want to.
It's not for
non-disclosure, an NDA, or
it's not for Steelbox, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Oh, okay. but it was probably fun to do.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Whatever he was
Yeah. It
doing.
looked like a different procedure. He sent me a picture. I think they're all sitting around in a room. So, I mean, you know, you lose the one thing that's anyway, it's all insider baseball now. He was busy today. So, and I haven't heard from him. I don't know if he's coming back to Louisville. I tried to message him to see if he wanted to get coffee in the morning. And it's back to not hearing from him. So, it's a typical Blake move.
I think, all right. Yeah, I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. Nation, what are y'all drinking tonight? What I do recommend is that you don't shout out readily available bourbons for Brian and I to pull from. Like, we just let us do this on our own and watch us struggle here, because we have to pick 8 each, and that's really the challenge. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to drink a little bit. It is National Cocktail Day. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. National Cocktail Day. So we're talking a little bit about cocktails. I've got 2 pre-made cocktails from a brand I hadn't seen before, so I picked them up today. I have not bought a bottle of whiskey. To be fair, I was there looking for wine. I'm actually trying to educate myself a little bit there, but I didn't actually buy any wines because I want to do some learning before I really try and pick something. See what certain things are about. Like, I've never had a Bordeaux. I don't think I've ever had a Napa Valley cab. So there's some of that kind of stuff is what I want to learn. But anyway, some cocktails. I have
up on those Beaujolais yet?
I don't know. No, I don't know anything. Like, I think I've like just resolved to do this. So Alicia and I have crushed a couple bottles of wine in the last week, enjoyed them, and I'm like, you know what? I want to learn a little bit more about this, not to the exclusion of whiskey. This is a side piece. I have an exciting thing to share here. You know, actually,
whiny.
Not exactly, but first for the Droopy Whiskey channel here, in that I got added to a mailing list of a major distiller. I had Luxco reached out, and they're like, "Hey, we watch your channel. Can we add you to our mailing list?" I'm like, "Please do that. That would be fantastic." So they sent me the first package. I'm jacked about it. I figure it was samples, you know, or some bottles of their standard lineup. But the packaging, so I'll show you what the packaging. So I'm not going to show what this is first. I'm just going to show you the packaging. So it's like this really fancy box. And I was like, "Oh, sick. What is this? What is this? What is this?" And then hilariously, it is Quiet Man Irish whiskey. So it's 8 years old. It's their step above. But in our last stream, St. Patrick's Day, I absolutely dumped on Irish whiskey as like diet scotch. And then what's the first sample from this major distillery I get? 8-year-old Irish whiskey. Still gonna open it. Still gonna taste it for y'all live. So plenty to talk about. But we'll do the cocktails, and then we'll get into the draft, and I'll probably open this in the middle of the draft. Cool. All right. Let's see what people are drinking. Drew,
I'm gonna know what's going on with the Zags right now.
Gonzaga. Yeah, I haven't watched any basketball. I don't.
It's like the tail end of a couple of these games right now, man. It's okay.
Nice.
It's okay. We got USA, Mexico at 10 o'clock. That's not it's not basketball, by the
soccer.
Way. That's
soccer.
That's the old
football.
The old football. The old football.
So what are people drinking? OCD's drinking KY Spirit. Jordan is drinking Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof and Rare Breed 101. Rare Breed RB 101. RB 101 pick. What? That's not Rare Breed 101 is not a thing. What is RB 101? Is that Wild Turkey 101? But that wouldn't be a pick. Is it Russell's? That wouldn't be 101 either. Now I'm confused. Rebel Yell? No. Anyway. Woodrow Wilson. He was a president. This is W. Wilson, not Woodrow Wilson. Some Eagle Rare and Chattanooga Rye. Tom's hitting some New Riff malted 6-year. Matt Dorman, a friend of mine, church guy. Not Matt. Did we discuss golf yet? I don't know if Matt's a member of Swing Nation, but he's definitely getting into the Neat Nation. Like he's basically family. What else we got here? Rare Bird bloggers pick. Rare Bird 101 pick. Okay, I'm tracking now.
Oh, Johnny Five with the zinger.
Middle West Spirit pick. Oh wait, yeah. You know what? It doesn't exist. It's still not. It's somehow it's not even to DC yet. The distributor somehow doesn't have it. As of the email I got last week, but they're like any day now. Because Blake had pinged them. Hey, do you guys have it yet? But yeah, I mean, by all accounts, it is mythical. I got to give it. We had a little bit of a text thread going on that these picks never existed, never will. We may have the only pick ever to exist of Middle West Spirits, guys.
we also might have the only pick of Middle West Spirits to not exist. So at the same time.
Excuse me. Yeah, just trying to clear out. So I'll tell you where I was at. It was a crazy day. I got home from work, and then I'm getting set up down here. I'm like wrapping up my day. And I'm like, crap, I left my charger at work. I don't have my computer charger. So I shut my computer down right away. I've got 66% battery and I'm streaming, so it's going down quick. So I'm probably only going to make it to 9 on the computer. Then I'm going to have to jump over to my phone. So picture AV quality on my end is going to hit the crapper. So I'll try and hurry. I don't know why I'm belaboring this point. Where was I going? Yes. So then I was trying to figure out how to charge. There was more to that story. I lost it though. All right, Brian, what are you drinking right now?
I have again. It's what is this? National Cocktail Day. Hold on. Let me get that zoomy going. Not zoom, but just tighten that focus up.
It's not working.
So I got the old classic, old fashioned. Just a classic, old. Wait, hold on. Just a classic, old fashioned. Just a classic, old fashioned. Just look at that.
All right, calm down. Yeah, you're going very Fred on us this evening.
So
look at this
frat with an old. I'm going.
How about
frat.
that?
Yeah. So
not Fred.
Just
Fred.
I was like, oh yeah, I don't know many frat boys drinking old fashions, but anyway, that's what I'm sipping tonight.
All right, so I've been saving what was left of my Barrel Seagrass 16 sample. Ugh. It's awful. It's not, I don't like it. It's not awful. I don't like it. If it was a craft whiskey, it'd be good. Yeah, it's not the worst. But it ain't for me. I like the Willet blackened Madeira. I like it better than this. There's some interesting oak finish, but it's just not sweet. It's not viscous. It's just got fruit notes, but without viscosity and sweetness, which I want that. I want that in a whiskey. So I'm going to rinse this, and then I will do a little tasty taste of 2 products while Brian talks about any bottles he got this week or maybe these after. So I was at the liquor store. I was looking at the pre-made cocktails, and I found Sazerac. So 1792. This is apparently made with 1792. This is what's the name? Original cocktails by Hubline, something. I don't know. 35% alcohol. It's old fashioned and Manhattan. And this is apparently owned by Sazerac. Bottled by Sazerac. So I'm stoked to taste these. I mean, 1792, that's good stuff. 35% alcohol by volume out of these cocktails. That's pretty good. Some of these cocktails, pre-made cocktails, coming in quite a bit lower. So, Brian, while you share your whiskey journeys with us from the week, I will taste these.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, we lived last week, right?
We did, yes.
Okay. So what did I get this week? Did I get anything? It's been such a crazy week. I don't even know what happened. It's something. There's something over here. It's one of these. Nope. I went to that event. Wait. The Fraser event, I had just gotten back from that. So that
yeah, we had talked about for another one. You get a new one every week.
Well, I did get this. This is a bottle that I on my other channel, on my Finsta, whatever you want to call it, on my other channel, I reviewed a 2019 on 7th tier, a 2019 Derby bottle that was super, super tasty. And I've had it open for a while. I forgot how good it was. And so I've been looking for one again in some of my local groups. And I haven't gotten it yet, but somebody messaged me and said, hey, I don't have the 2019 OBSK you're looking for, but I've got this 2020 OBSV, which is one that I had not gotten before. Because I don't think I went out that year, but it's a OBSV. It's NS 36C. So I said, yep, I'll take it, and met up with him and got it. So super stonked for that, and that's it.
Noise.
I'm thinking there's something else.
Whoa!
You're ready to go already.
Yeah, that was an accident.
We got 2 Drews. We got Drew 2.
Wow.
This is so interesting. It's so cool. This is like the coolest thing. What's up, Drew? What's up, Drew? You have a Drew P and another Drew?
There we go. Okay.
Oh, darn.
So this is, you can add me back on this one when my computer dies. That there was a method to that madness. Sorry you guys had to see that. No one wants to see how the sausage is made, but while you were talking, I was dealing with that and not tasting these. So Porkins wisely threw out, hey, you should probably stir those over ice, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it neat. I'm not going to have a lot. I'm just going to taste it. I just want to see if it's good. It smells good. It smells very orangey. I'm starting with the old fashioned. You know, my all-time old fashioned, my bar for old fashioned is, of course, Bardstown Bourbon Company's old fashions. Haven't had them better. This one is very lighter on the bourbon notes, heavy on the bitters. Cheers, y'all. But it's quite good. It is bitters heavy. It's really chocolatey. Sweetness, I feel like, is dialed. It's not too much, but it's enough. I would honestly add just a touch more of a high proof bourbon to this. Maybe something with a little spice, because this is not conveying much in the spice range. You know, if you had some old Ezra 7 or something around, that might actually be a good addition to this. What were you gonna say, Brian?
Oh, I went to the store and they did not have any JTS Brown, and so of the bottled and bond. So I had to get the JTS Brown 80 proof. So that's what this is made with. So I just make them taller. So
Porkins asks if I'm accustomed to the Wisconsin old fashioned. Those are an abomination. A brandy old fashioned, and then they add soda. They're like sweet or sour, and the difference is they do Sprite or Squirt at a crappy bar.
Where can I get one of those when I come up to see you next weekend?
Yeah, we're ready. I'm ready for you. I just gotta wash the sheets.
Here's what I need. So we're in the same bed. Nice.
We gotta decide. No, yeah, we gotta decide what to do though. What time are you gonna get in Friday night?
Hold on, back up. Here's what I need to know. And if you can't help me, Eric's gonna help me. I know you said that Driftless is a little bit a ways from you, but do we go past Untitled Art? Because it is on my list of things to do. Dang it.
Untitled Art is not in Milwaukee, and I don't know. I'm not much of a beer guy.
Driftless isn't in Milwaukee either, right?
Eric says he's going to have stuff for you. Yeah, but Wisconsin is very spread out.
Okay, Eric, will you take... So Drew doesn't want to hang out with me, apparently. Will you take me to Untitled Art? Because I'm looking to get sloshed with some seltzers and some slushy beers. So...
Wanakee. Where the heck is Wanakee? Oops.
Yeah, look it up on the map. You know this stuff. I don't know this stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, I'm doing it now. I'm looking. It's just slow, and my computer's gonna die. So
okay, so I will say this. I don't remember how far away you are. An hour behind me, and
that's correct.
I have a work. Let me see what time my meeting is. I think I have an 11 o'clock on Friday. Let's see. It's next Friday. I have a meeting at 11 o'clock. So after that, I was going to get on the road.
Okay, that's perfect. So we should have
some
time
too late?
to. No, because you'll pick up an hour. So if you leave there around noon, Dude, Untitled Art kind of is right on the way to Driftless Glen. So
yes, you mean on the way back. You mean on the way back.
Yes, I mean on the way back. Yeah. So as long
you
as
mean
we
on the
don't
way
go
there
too hard. So Eric, are you going to jump
go
in
so
on
hard,
that
Eric.
with us?
We're gonna go so hard. Are we doing a Wisconsin meetup? Are we planning this right now?
So
are we meeting?
Well, I
are we
mean-
doing an entry proof Wisconsin meetup at Untitled Art next Saturday? Is that what you're saying?
We don't know when we're going to be done with the pick. We can
Fine.
text anybody who's interested to meet us there.
No, that's fine. I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore.
It's fine. No, honestly, Friday night in Milwaukee would be better for a meetup because you're going to get in time. So if we want to go, crush it a little bit, hit a couple of the bars around.
What were those things you told me I needed to eat from Stone Creek? Is like a biscuit or something? What was the things you said are so good that you never brought me?
I don't know.
That you will make at your cafe that you literally
I know.
run.
We make a lot of stuff.
For food.
We make a lot of stuff.
It's a food thing that you say you eat them all the time. You always get them before you...
breakfast buns?
Drew, you were falling off so fast, man. And I thought I was the one who's been out
cheese,
every
breakfast
night.
Buns, hot ham and cheese with a little brioche.
Jay, I don't know what this KFB bourbon on the bank stuff is, man. I don't know what I don't get invited to these cool things.
KFB is Kentucky Bourbon Festival or Bourbon on the Bank.
Oh, so KBF.
It's the plan.
Yes,
I am planning.
Yeah.
I am planning on being down there for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I'm chatting with a guy next week about like creating a documentary style video on our adventures the week of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Plan is also to play like 3 rounds of golf. So anybody who wants to jump in on that trip, it's kind of a more the merrier situation. Get some epic Airbnbs, crush it, throw a TV through a window, stuff like that. All right, moving on to the Manhattan.
Dude, Gonzaga's gone. Goodbye. So
is your bracket busted then? Is that
dude? I have a maximum total of like 300 points that I can get. I did so bad. Well, but you know me, I had Kentucky going all the way because Kentucky. Bad idea. God,
normally I'd make a Manhattan with you. If you're making a Manhattan, Brian, would you go rye or would you go bourbon? So again,
if
17,
I go either way, it really just depends. I mean, I normally have more bourbon accessible, but I would probably make a Boulevardier or something like that if I was doing that. So it just depends. Krista doesn't really like rye, so a lot of times I'll make bourbon Manhattans.
These are good, guys. I think they didn't cost much either. So for this kind of thing, I think these were something like $6 or $7 versus this size. It's basically enough for 2 cocktails. It's contains 200 milliliters. So yeah, enough for 2 cocktails. One really, really big one. This same size you can get to go from Bardstown Bourbon Company of their barrel aged old fashioned is $20, which hurts. It's good, it's real good, but that hurts. So these are a really, really good value. I recommend you check them out. I would prefer rye in my Manhattan, but this is still good. I would, like I said, probably add just a little bit more spirit to both ones, particularly in maybe spicier bourbon, the old fashioned, and then maybe hecka herbaceous rye to the Manhattan. I feel like that'll liven it up a little bit. It's still pretty good.
Just spruce it up just a touch.
Perfumey, floral. I know that's the vermouth talking to me right now in the Manhattan, but it's a fun journey. My
bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
It's not about the cocktail. It's about the people that you share it with. Is that
you gotta let it go.
Is that what it is?
Let it go. No. So Jason's sign up. Jason's and Scott's sign offs are very similar, and I can't keep them straight. They're very warm. Like they're very, very, very warm sign offs. I kind of give everybody like it's a violent fingering when I sign up my videos.
Nope.
So maybe people probably prefer their nice.
I think so.
Relational.
I think so.
Maybe so.
I think they probably do. I think they probably prefer the. I think they probably prefer the the cordials than
yeah, it's going to be hard for me to do that.
Oh, it's spiraling downhill so fast. We haven't even done the topic.
Shout out to Andrew Surfling for bringing back last week's joke. It's about the cardigan you wear.
Well, you've always left me satisfied, smiling.
That's what she said. All right. You ready to do the drafts, Tom? Here's where we need some help. Okay?
If that's what we're doing, yeah, let's go ahead. Do you have the NCAA music in the background? Will we get sued for that?
We might lose our monetization status.
Well, I don't get anything from that anyway, so why not? Let's do it.
So where are we at? Tom, this is what I need from you, because we have to decide who gets to pick first. So what we'll do is we'll do alternate picks, draft style. I've got the Eric Sawyer special here with our timer. So I'll put that up here. Something. Maybe I'll move this over here and I'll put it on top of this. There we go. Whoops. So we have 3 minutes to make our picks. If we take all 3 minutes, we're going to be here all night.
It's 3 minutes for each person? And then back and forth? Or, okay.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. So Tom's going to pick a number, 1 or 2, and then you're going to pick which one. And if you get it right, you go first. And if you get it wrong, I go first. So Tom, just think of a number, and then Brian's going to try and guess what you have in mind. So we trust Tom, of course, obviously. And
Wait,
so then you would pick, and then I would pick. Here's the thing, though. There is a twist. I have a twist. These have to be available. And what I said when we prepped was you have to be able to go to Liquor Barn right now to get it. And no store picks. So no store picks. And I will allow Tom and Eric, if they agree, to veto a pick. Meaning that if they're like, that ain't available, that's only available at the Total Wine right down from your house and nowhere else in the entire world, they can veto. And if that happens, then what if somebody gets vetoed, then you lose your turn. You still get a pick 8 in totality, but you lose your turn and the other person gets to pick another one. So you basically get skipped and then you have to finish your picks.
Now hold on. And you said it is bourbon, right?
Bourbon. Yes. So non-finished. So that's another way to get yourself.
You didn't
vetoed.
tell me that.
We can agree. We can change the rules now. Okay. All right. So non-finished, we're talking bourbons, because the thinking is we can do this with other categories. We do it with bottled and bonds. We can do it with barrel proofs. But today we're just drafting available bourbons. And so we're going to keep a list of who picks what. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys a link to a survey, and then you can vote. See who wins. Cool. Sound good? All right. Tom, you got your number? There is no price limit.
I was getting ready to
It
ask.
just has to be available. So that's why word vetoing comes in. And it's going to be because there are things I'm sure that are available. Like I checked, and there are things that are available in my market, but it has to be we run the risk of getting vetoed. I will limit though. Tom and Eric can only veto each person. No, they can veto as much as they want. But it has to be an agreement, and they can't just mess with people. It has to be like, no, that's actually not available. Okay. Porkin says, I just realized I'm going to be in Kentucky just after the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Well, ships crossing in the night, or we schedule the golf for right after that. So just send me your dates, Porkins. We'll try and make something happen. Eric's making a cocktail. He better hurry. Jeez, what's his problem? Tom says he's flipping a credit card. Drew face up or stripe up. Call it. Well, that wasn't the rule, but sure. We'll let Brian call it because I was going to have him guess the number. So Tom's going to flip the credit card. Brian, face up or stripe up?
Stripe down.
Okay. Let's just mess. Let's make this as complicated as we possibly can.
What's
All
weird
right,
sometimes when I get these earbuds is that for some reason, even though it tells me it needs to connect to either my computer or my phone, if I fiddle with it, it will turn the music on my phone. And I was listening to this super trancy new techno album, and it just rips. It just rips. And it's very scary. It's very scary to just blast in my ear. If anybody wants to link to that, techno album, just let me know.
Yeah, I drop it because I'm interested. Tom says you go first, so good for you.
Oh,
Coots, yeah, you gotta. If people want to join in with the golf, yeah, I mean we can get tee times for groups. So yeah, definitely bring your clubs. Otherwise, it's a waste. I mean, September, like late September in Kentucky, golf, like that's prime golfing season there. Porkin says, is it safe to mix bourbon and antibiotics? I don't know why it wouldn't be, but I mean, I'm not a specialist. So disclaimer, you should never take my advice when it comes to mixing alcohol and medicine.
Yeah, I thought it was a general rule of thumb. You just always mix them.
Just did.
Yeah. Okay, so I have. Okay. Are you expecting to catch something hanging out with? Ugh.
Like maybe Porkin's talking about taking antibiotics when he's with us, but that's.
Oh yeah.
We're on Bourbon Junkies territory right now with our humor.
Do we have some sort of digital timer we can throw up? Do you have a timer you can?
I have this. I got this. So on your mark, get set, go. You have 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh, this is where the music would be great. You got to keep talking or something in the background. Maybe there's been an answer before, but in your intro video, is it Brian that's talking about his guitar influence? Yes, it is. And by the way, Dave Knutson has his first solo album coming out, so that's cool. Okay,
that's cool.
Shoot, I don't know if it's an advantage or not to get the first pick.
Yeah, it is because you can pick whatever you want. I didn't make mine. That's what I should have done in my prep, but I did not. Price being not a factor is helpful, but there's just not that many available expensive whiskeys that are actually good.
See, here's the downside of the timer is if I go too early, it'll take more time to reset the timer. So
I didn't even.
Maybe I'll get.
Well, yeah,
I should get.
You get your timer. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
I think I'm good with my first one.
All right, let's have it.
For my first pick, I am going with Old Forester 1920.
Oh, nice. It's a good pick. Real good pick. Y'all, as we go in the chat, price does not matter, Eric. We made that clear. But you were making a cocktail, I guess. Shout us out in the chat as we drop our picks. You dig? Just thumbs up or thumbs down. I mean, you should like the video, but in the chat, you likey the pick? You know likey the pick. Likey the pick, no likey the pick. Okay. Good pick, Brian. I have mine. I'm dialed. But
okay.
This is the only one where I think it was clear to me what a first pick should be. There are a lot of whiskeys on here. Some of them are risky in my list. Some of them are just like, oh no, yeah, that's a great whiskey always. So for me, the easy first pick is Russell's Reserve Single Barrel.
Interesting. Okay.
We're still on your time for your first pick. This may go faster than I thought.
Well, I think it's going to go faster because I think, and I don't know what you want to do with that. We'll just go ahead and go through it then. Okay, so sure. You went with Russell's Reserve. You went with Russell's Reserve.
So right now it's Old Forester 1920 against Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. No thumbs down yet. So, you know what? I do have to drag it out for a minute because I have to open up a survey here.
Oh, are we doing round? Are we doing round versus round? Like,
No.
Okay.
No, we're gonna do an aggregate. But let me get it up so I don't get really far down. Kyle Ramage said Russell's isn't available near him. Well, there's apparently no bourbon in North Carolina whatsoever. I don't think anybody can call me on Russell's Reserve single barrel not being available. I'm sure there are weird markets, like weird syndromes, but
Peter wants us to
Eric,
give the summary as why we picked him. I think that's valid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's. Yeah.
Back
Perfect. That's why we do this in front of nations. So why don't you recap and then I'll recap mine.
Yep. So I have several things that I thought that the 1920 would be strong. I thought that of a lot of the options were going to be presented, I want something that's got decent proof, pretty good proof for it. But I really want something that's going to have some oak substance to back it up, just because I personally, my personal opinion, again, let me say personally, think that a lot of times when you're talking about readily available whiskey, it comes with the absence of older age oak presence. So I wanted to put something on there that kind of, can hang with some of those limited edition Old Forester products a little bit.
Cool. All right. So for me, I'm typing, but I'll come back to typing in a minute. I want something that's just always good. Something that
now, Terrence, I will clarify. This is not my personal opinion. Okay, it's not. So,
similar to why you picked Old Forester, like I want a sweet bourbon. I want it to have a lot of flavor. I want it to have some oak presence. So good age, Russell Reserve single barrels, almost always 9 years old. Sometimes a little bit more than that. Non-chill filtered these days, and 110 proof, right? So great proof point, near barrel proof, given Wild Turkey, lower entry proof, #entry proof, and just generally a killer profile. I've never had a single barrel, even just off the shelf, that was like, this kind of sucks. Whereas I've had single barrels of pretty much every other product, Henry McKenna included, almost especially Henry McKenna, which I also love, not available. That weren't so good. So I'm a big Russell Reserve single barrel guy. Elijah Craig barrel proof being not available or not readily available. Russell Reserve single barrel is close to the top of my list for, that go-to whiskey. If I had to choose one whiskey for the rest of my life and it had to be a readily available whiskey, I think it's Russell Reserve single barrel. It's got to be close to the top of that list. Mm-hmm. All right. And it is now your turn for pick number 2.
My second pick is Kentucky Spirit single barrel.
That's interesting coming off of my pick. Feels derivative, but it was also on my list as a potential option. So I actually don't fault you for that.
So Kentucky Spirit is found in most places, and I feel like one of the products. Oh, hold on, Tom's throwing out the veto already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll testify because he and Eric have to agree, but I'm going to testify in this case. Kentucky Spirit is very available in my market. It's on the shelf. You can get it at Total Wine. The liquor store I was at today had it. It's spotty. It was at Woodman's, the grocery store I was at last week. So I would not veto this. As your competitor, I would encourage the wrenches to not veto. Eric Sawyer unvetoes. But
Tom still wants it to be vetoed.
Well, you can't. It has to be an agreement of veto. So yeah. So KY Spirit holds. The pick holds. Is it not in Ohio, Tom? Can you not get this product? Because I'll get you one if you want. Yeah, Jay Coots sees it in India. Is anybody else not able to get it?
Indiana, yes. Milwaukee, yes. Kentucky, yes. Jordan says he sees Kentucky Spirit more than he sees Russell's Reserve.
Surfling said they were out, but they just got restocked. So yeah, we're gonna call it. It's good. So let it be written. So let it be done. Anyway, what's your justification? You were
So anyway,
that?
So I have this on my long list of stand-ins in a wild turkey camp. I think that Kentucky Spirit is a really solid product. I think it's often overlooked. I think sometimes you get a really good pick and it has a little bit more funkiness than you can notice in Russell's Reserves that make it a little bit more similar to, just things that are fun and quirky about wild turkey in general. I like the 110 proof in the Russell's Reserve. So stacked up, I think you're able to, I think we're going toe to toe. You might have a little bit more height on me here. But I would still say that regularity, cost, just really makes it have some interesting, funkier profiles. It's a really solid product, and especially if you're looking at stuff. Again, I tried to be. I know you said we weren't price conscious, but my hope is that when I look at the team at the end, it's not like LeBron. It's like 97 Bulls. So,
nice.
I got to throw Kentucky Spirit in there.
97 Bulls, dramatically underpaid Bulls outside of Michael Jordan. Everybody's underpaid except Michael Jordan. Cool. Great. Awesome. I'm going with another, just like everybody loves this one. Everybody knows that this is a great bourbon that'll do for just about every case. Great value. Granted, that's not, really what we're talking about here is, I think, and when people vote, I want them to vote on the quality of the juice, not the value. That said, killer value. In what I have coming up here, great proof point, great age, 9 years old, 120 proof. You all know what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about Knob Creek single barrel. Knob, the least nutty of the Beam products. I'm not a Beam guy, but I'm a Knob guy. So, and some of these barrels, even at 9 years old, just absolutely slap. And of course, we're not talking about picks, so this is no pick. You can go get the single barrels anywhere. I need to see thumbs up or thumbs down, though, on these calls. Peter's throwing the thumbs up. I like that. But you get oak. You get just great bourbon. Like, it's the bourboniest bourbon of all bourbons, and it does it for me. Like, it's not at Russell's Reserve single barrel level for me in terms of just matching my desired profile. But I also know that it's a hitter that a lot of people even prefer over turkey products. So as I'm doing this draft, I'm also sensitive to the fact that I'm trying to get votes. I love this product, but I'm also shooting for votes. So
I'm just scratching stuff off this list left and right. Okay.
Well, I figured we'd probably have a lot of crossover, which is why I think when we get later into this process, it's going to get a little more dicey because the low-hanging fruit will have been plucked.
I have to so because I thought you were going to say this. I got a little nervous. Thought you might throw a buzzer beater. You called a timeout. I'm out of them. So I think I might go ahead and insert this one here. And I am going with Elijah Craig small batch.
Nice. It's a good pick. Very good pick. It was on my list. So it was definitely, I've been scouting that one for a while. Real promising young player. He can shoot the three, but he's also great in the paint. He's quick. Doesn't necessarily have the height, but he's fast. He can certainly get around the big guys. Real agile. Got a great fadeaway. So,
yeah, I don't want to belabor the point. I mean, I think we all have seen the promise coming from Elijah Craig for quite a many years. Came right out of high school, and I just think that it's that drive, that determination, and that the regularity that we see him just show up day in and day out.
No. He's a big game player too. Big game player.
That it's just got to pull from. I'm going Elijah Craig.
Nice, good pick. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to flip this over because now it's less clear to me. I've been taking notes and riffing with you on basketball analogies. So, yeah, the big brother of Elijah Craig is definitely supreme, but it's not available. So it's disqualified. It's playing in the pros. We're talking the college game here.
Yeah, Andrew's never gonna let me live this one down. Yeah, Elijah Craig was St. Peter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna steal one from you too. I think this one's probably your next pick.
Don't do it.
This person racks up a lot of minutes, though that they're not your all-star probably, but it's also a candidate actually above Knob Creek in my book. Maybe less in the Bourbon verse book, but above Knob Creek for me in terms of whiskeys that I would reach for should I only be able to reach for one whiskey. And I mean, if people watch this channel, they know that this is going to be picked sooner rather than later. And it's my third single barrel product in a row. Retails for $40 to $50.
Nope.
It's 100 proof, and it's the Four Roses single barrel.
You mother son and din.
I feel like we're playing the same game here. Like
because I thought about
these teams are well matched right now.
That's the thing. It sucks. So here's I want to let you. I know you just kind of talked a little bit. Here's the. I want people to know why I didn't call on my boy Four Roses before Elijah Craig. And
I was surprised you went Elijah Craig before.
So here's the deal.
Real surprise.
We all know that I see the promise in Four Roses, and people who are able to tap into the full potential see it. But I feel like so many people have talked about not enjoying the base product or not having access to them. Is
that how we're going to play this game?
No, I'm just saying. I thought that Elijah Craig is a smarter bet. To lock in on the team. No, but the thing is though, Tim's a great guy. Tim's a great guy because Tim is he's watching all the videos. I've been dropping guys for the last 3 weeks. I've been dropping at least 3 videos a week. I'm doing this and Tim's always there.
Tim shows up. Yeah,
Tim shows up all the time. And now he's
team manager.
And now I've let Tim down. And I've let Peter down. I'm true to my name and I've abandoned.
You abandoned you left your first love.
It's fine.
Well, you're neither hot nor cold, therefore I will spit you out of my mouth.
Well, here's the deal though. I mean, we know I'm not putting another Four Roses product in this list. So I'm moving on, and my list is bloodied right now. It's bloodied. There's very little.
Well, look, the game's not over. We both have 5 picks left. We're 3 picks into this. 3 picks.
I can't believe that we only have 3 right now.
It's a long game. I mean, there's a lot of basketball to be played here. I am going to lose my computer, though, before this is over, so I'll have to shift over.
Oh, man. It sounds like you're just saying, I don't like what... Man.
All right.
I'm just a bit bummed.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I mean, the next product I would put in that cat, I can't do it. I'm not doing it yet. Okay, let's keep going. I feel like I have to redeem myself. Oh, he's not Jay's not a fan of my pick so far. Well, I didn't diss Four Roses. I just didn't pick him in my bracket yet. It's fine. We're gonna move on. No, Peter, I'm trying not to get vetoed out here, and I'm fairly certain small batch select is in very few markets.
It's actually more than you think, but hey, I'm not telling you what to do.
Okay. Well, I'll have you all know that for the fourth selection, the fourth selection, my fourth selection that I have on my list is the Four Roses Small Batch Select.
You're going for it.
And let me tell you why I put the Small Batch Select in my list. It's the same reason why I put the Four Roses Small Batch Select into my best available whiskeys of 2021 list. And that's
Which
because
is crazy to me.
And that's because the single barrel is a great value. The single barrel is a great value. And at 100 proof, it's very viscous. However, you are locked on the OBSV. And it seems like people who say they don't like Four Roses, it's hard to tell what you don't like about it. One of their products has 10 recipes. One has 4. One has 6. One is a single. Okay. One is a single. The small batch select to me is the equivalent to the 2018 small batch limited edition, the same way that Stag Junior is to Stag, the same way that other products are to other products. It's the same thing. I think that the profile you get, youthful a little bit. I won't disagree. It's older, but it is a junior version. It's a junior version of the 2018 limited edition small batch. I had small batch select earlier this week.
Out of this. That's crazy talk.
I had small batch select earlier this week. It still holds up. It still holds up. Pick number 4 for Brian is the Four Roses small batch select.
It's so floral. It's by far the most floral of Four Roses products,
which is amazing because to me that's iconic Brent Elliott. You know,
it's a great whiskey. It is a really good whiskey. I mean, nobody can say it's not.
Non-chill filtered, 104 proof, 6 recipes. Okay.
If you like those 6 recipes. All right. I'm going to flip over because I got to take some time here. I got to recover. I got to bounce back. I feel like you're stealing my thunder. Like I drop a killer pick and you're like, well, but then there's this other one. Like, all right, fine. But
it's like you're upset that you draft a guard and I draft a guard. And then you draft a center and I draft a center.
Like you draft the twin brother of the... I'm not upset at all, actually, because I feel like you're just taking diet whatever I take. So that's good. For
anyone who want to know the delicious recipes that are in the small batch select, it's the B and E versions of everything that's not an O or a Q. It's fantastic. It's F, it's K, and it's V. It's basically all the best recipes.
Brian, my time is ticking. It's up to me now. So the next pick is harder because I think that there are less things now that are like, oh, but that's apparent. Like you got to pick that. So it gets to be a little bit more like tough. It's tough. It feels like now we're picking categories of bourbon drinkers versus like everybody loves this crap. There are things I could pick. Well, I'll even say one I considered, and if you pick it, that's fine. Evan Williams single barrel. I'm not picking that. It's 86 proof. It's just too light for me. Like it's good. It's a good beginner bourbon, but to me, it's not like top available bourbons. I did say, well, crap. I almost broke my own rules. I have to scratch a couple things out. Okay. Crap. Yeah. It just quickly got much more difficult. But I do think that there's one other pick, even though it is very similar to some of the other stuff we shouted out, that if I don't say this, you will say this, and I don't want you to say it and get credit for it. I feel like that won't help me. It's like this pick, I don't have a better one in terms of profile, value, proof. It's just not it's not like a bomb I drop and everybody's like, oh, never saw that one coming. You definitely see this pick coming. Even though it's so similar to 2 other picks we already made, because it's another Wild Turkey product. I'm going to go Wild Turkey Rare Breed.
Okay.
Barrel proof.
Cool.
Well, last batch was 116 point something in that range. So high proof turkey. another good age product, 6, 8, 12-year blend of Wild Turkey. Fred Minnick picks this in blinds over Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. He's also insane. I don't know that he's insane, but I think maybe his palate was off on those days. But it's an extraordinary whiskey. And the other things on my list, I will say I almost dropped some double barrel stuff, which is not a straight bourbon. So we did rule off finished, and so I didn't want to get vetoed by breaking my own rules by shouting some double barrel stuff. So I didn't, and it was probably for the best. So Wild Turkey Rare Breed, my pick number 4. And for similar reasons than the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, I feel like this one is gloriously unrefined. I think I've called bourbons that before. It's just a great bourbon. It's not a bourbon you like sip out of one of these suckers, but you pour yourself a couple fingers in a fat bottom glass and you're, smoking some meat and you are a happy camper. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
Your rules that you put into place on further thought do pose an imposition on several of the things I have remaining on my list that I did not think about before. I just assumed that they were fine.
My time's almost, yeah. So I was not like I said bourbons, right? That's what I said. So it has to be a bourbon. And I said explicitly not finished at the start of this video. So that does rule out bourbons that are finished in any capacity. I would have probably brought some nuance to that had we not started, but it's already done. So my time is up, and now I'm going to flip it over, and you have 3 minutes or however many.
Okay.
5 minutes. Yeah.
I'm going to do something risky.
Are you? Remember, you lose a turn. You don't lose a turn, but you get boked till the end if you get vetoed.
What did you just pick? Rare Breed. Okay.
I just picked Rare Breed. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna read something first.
Let me be clear. Some monosyllabic says Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. I think Russell's Reserve Single Barrel is really not. I don't think it's unrefined. I think those are really well curated barrels. If I said that, I apologize. It's more refined than Rare Breed. Rare Breed. That's it. That's all I have to say. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number 5. I'm gonna read something real quick. And it says,
"Oh boy,
is Jack Daniel's bourbon? Yes and no. Jack Daniel's chooses not to call itself bourbon, but the historic brand applies for federal label approval under the class of bourbon, and Tennessee whiskey is listed as straight bourbon in the North American Free Trade Agreement. And for that reason, I am going with Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof as my 5th pick, because this is a product that, even in small bottles, is everywhere, I think.
Not here. It's not here. Not anymore.
And it's inexpensive. It beats, I would say, 9 out of 10 times will beat an Old Forester barrel strength. It is so underrated. It is one of the most inexpensive, underrated barrel proof products out there. I'm going with the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof.
Yeah, that was interesting play. I'd like to just have the wrenches.
I've got I've got thumbs and boom.
I saw both of that. I saw them both just ready to lap up the juice that you were talking about. But the debate, and whatever. You're right. I would call Jack Daniel's bourbon too. I don't think the Lincoln County process disqualifies it from being bourbon. I do think that literature supports it as a bourbon. I'm just mad I didn't think of it first. And everybody's giving you mad props on this one. So, yeah, I mean, I would affirm Brian and his pick as a bourbon. So if you guys want to know what we think about it, I mean, it's gospel now. I mean, I feel like we're in a position of authority, you and I together, where if we agree on this, we can solve the debate.
I'm loving the reaction to everybody on here. Oh, it's funny.
All right. Well, I'll drop a bomb here.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm gonna make a play myself. And we're going quality of juice. Okay. This is an ignored bourbon. I've talked about it a lot. I've talked that people should get it. They have not gotten it. It's still available. It's about $100. It's 9 years old. It's from Indiana. You may have heard of it. You may have heard of Indiana. This distillery in Indiana used to be referred to as Midwest Grain Products. Now Ross and Squibb, which is awful. I prefer Midwest Grain Products. But this product you can still get at Total Wine for $100. Nobody's getting it. Sometimes you can get the 10-year too, but we'll stick with the 9-year because I know you can go get it. And it's the Redemption Cask Strength 9-year bourbon.
Yep.
That's my pick.
Yeah, I had 10-year, but I don't know about the distribution of Redemption in these barrel proof picks. I leave silence as if the chat is going to actually be talkative, but I was waiting to see if the chat actually. Oh gosh.
Yeah, Porkin says he can get the 750s of that Jack, or can't get the 750s, but can still get the 375s. I can't get either one. I used to be able to get both. Right now, that I looked for it actually at the liquor store today to see if it was still around because the one I was at used to have 375s. They no longer do. So let's just recap for a minute. We have Brian with Old Forester 1920, Wild Turkey, Kentucky Spirit, Elijah Craig, small batch, Four Roses, small batch, select, and then Jack Daniel's barrel strength single barrel. And I have Russell's Reserve single barrel, Knob Creek single barrel, Four Roses single barrel, Wild Turkey rare breed, and Redemption cask strength 9-year. All right. So that's where we're at so far. So y'all just figure it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the link to this. I can get in and edit it from my phone should my computer die. But you know what? I need to actually look at the options real quick. So I'm going to get this ready to send out for y'all to vote. Wait. Oh, settings. That's what I want. Yeah. Okay. Responses. Mandatory responses are collected and protected. Restrict to users in Stone Creek Coffee and trusted organizations. No. Get the link. Shorten URL. Now I'm going to drop it in the chat. Okay. So that we're not done yet, y'all. Don't vote yet, okay? I'm going to keep editing this as we go, even though I've already sent it out. So you'll need to refresh it when the picks are done. And you're just going to pick Drew or Brian or Drew or whatever. I said Drew or Brian, named myself first, but then I put Brian as the first option because I figured then the biases offset. The question is who has the better list of available whiskeys. We have 3 picks left each. Brian, given that you won the initial challenge, nothing has been vetoed yet. You are up with your 6th pick.
I'm going to go ahead and bust out something else that I want to have a little bit of age to it. Tom, I
can't give you up. Yeah, hold on real quick. Tom, I can't give you access because it's on my corporate Google account. So unfortunately I can't, but I'll keep it up. I can get on my phone if I need to. It's not a big deal. All right, go ahead, Brian.
No, I'm not going to go that way. I'm not going to go.
Hard pull up. I didn't pick Long Branch. That's a lie. Not taking those other.
Okay.
I'm done with turkey, to be clear.
I am going to dig into another product that I think is, gosh, do I want to go this route? Yeah, let's do it. It's nope. I'm going to go with the new Evan Williams 1783.
You're playing the budget game pretty hard.
I want something that is going to be drinkable in this lineup with something that, I mean, you could argue too, the Elijah Craig's going to be that a little bit, but sometimes I want something a little bit lighter in the flavors overall. And you know what? That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right, lighter flavor, but you're liking what the 1783 packs regardless. The new one,
especially in the new bigger bottle.
The higher proof too. The new one is higher proof.
Yeah, big improvement.
All right. I'm going to throw a flavor bomb. I don't even have to wait on this. I think now is the right time to play this card. This is flavorful for sure. If you like it spicy, you like it oaky, you like it hot, you like little cinnamon in there. It's not for everybody, but it works. And this is particularly another good whiskey for drinking outside because it kind of helps some of the harshness dissipate. But I don't know anybody who doesn't like this one. And if you're buying a product from Willett, an available bourbon from Willett, then this is the one I would recommend. We've talked about this before on the channel, and it is Noah's Mill. Noah's Mill from Willett is my pick. Oh,
interesting.
I just put your Evan Williams pick on mine, so I got to move that.
Interesting choice.
I feel like that's maybe the biggest. Well, the Redemption one was a little niche, but it's out there and people are aware of it. But Noah's Mill is probably the next to that, the least ubiquitous, but still very clearly available pick. People are already voting. Stop voting. Oh, crap. What's going on? People are writing in stuff. I almost need to delete these responses. You guys aren't supposed to respond yet. Stop doing that.
Don't put the link up yet.
Game's not over. I shouldn't have, but I was worried about my time running out. I can delete these. So if you voted, you're going to have to get in here and vote again. Hold on. I appreciate people contributing, but like it's meant to be an amalgamation. Delete all responses. Are you sure you want to delete all responses? This action cannot be undone. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So please don't vote yet till the end. We'll try and get through it. I'll even check it again tomorrow to see if whoever we declare the winner needs to be unthroned afterwards. So if you're watching this and you want to get in the live chat and find the button and vote tomorrow, if you're like listening on your way to work, you can do that and we'll see. All right. Thanks, Tom. Now, Tom will share it, but please don't vote until we're done. So now we're through what? We've got one pick left each. Is that it? Or
no, we have two.
Two? Okay. Okay, two left. This is going to get real tough. I'm going to time you. Go.
I didn't really want you to do that.
I've got another pick I'm confident in the hole, so I will tease with that and hope that you don't take it.
Okay, I'm going to go with something that might be... Oh, Eric, you should have told me, dude. I didn't know you ordered it, unless you ordered it from someone else. I am going to go with something in hopes that it's in more places than I think.
Oh, risky. We're risking the veto.
Yep. I'm risking the veto with this one. I am going to go with... do I really want to do this?
This is a fun game. I like this game. I'll say that while I wait for your pick.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it with this in here. I can't do that with this in here. Gosh, this is rough stuff. This is rough.
Rough and ready. Rough and rowdy.
I've got... I just don't know if this is a bad call.
You got plenty of time. You're taking your sweet time, but you got plenty of time.
I just don't know if it's a bad call or not. But I'm going to go with it. Hold on. Let me look at this list again. Let me look at your list. Let me look at my list.
You got to do some mental calculus. So I'm pouring a little bit while you do that. I'm just share with people what I'm doing. I've got. I'm gonna actually pour that back. I poured a little bit more of this 1792 Old Fashioned that I started the night with, and I'm gonna add. I mentioned adding a spicy bourbon. I think would be fun. So I got some Bookers, and I don't reach for that often. So that's what I'm gonna add to this. Just a touch of Bookers. Bring some spice, a little more bourbon-y essence to the party. I feel like that'll do well.
Okay. Man,
I'm waiting with bated breath. My breath is bated.
Gosh, son of a bun.
Cinnabon.
I can't do that either. I'm choking here.
Shoulder hurts.
I'm choking here.
You're with the program, man. You got to make your pick. So far, if you're just joining, we both picked 6 bourbons. You can see those. There's a link that Tom will share periodically that shows the poll. Please don't vote yet until we're done. Somebody voted again. They voted for you, but guess what? That's against the rules. So guess what? I'm deleting it. So until the final pick is made, do not vote. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do something a little different here. I don't know if this is... We're trying to figure out if this is going to end up getting vetoed or not. And it might, because it might be my ignorance.
That Booker's edition of this Old Fashioned was awesome. I gotta say,
I declare bankruptcy for my 7th pick.
Let's have it.
I am calling on Maker's Mark Cask Strength.
Nice. That was a good one. That was on my list, and that was the one right below my next pick. But it's a crowd pleaser. Crowd pleaser, good pick. I know that hurts you. I do want to recognize for everyone the bourbon that you have called Cat Pee, you have now picked as your 7th bourbon. So let the record show.
Well, okay, so also let the record show. Also let the record show. Given your arbitrary rules that you created on this stream live without even telling me, you made me knock a bunch of the stuff off my list. That would be other products.
Knocked my own picks off.
Yep. We could do Maker's 46. You couldn't do a ton of Maker stuff.
Couldn't do 1910 from Old Forester.
Couldn't do 1910.
Can't
do Woodford double.
Yeah,
can't do
which was on my list too. Well, I'll share my pick. You took almost all of your time. You took 5 minutes. There's just a tiny little bit of sand in there, but good pick.
Yeah, Robert, I like the 46 cask more also, but we can't use finished products. And the Maker's 46 is finished, right?
That is correct. Yes, it's stayed finished. Yep. So good one. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for swallowing your pride and picking Maker's Cat Pee, which I, for one, do not think it is. I've mentioned that bourbon before. I think it's good. All right. Next up for me, a well-aged product that goes ignored, a well-aged product that may be sourced, but it ain't finished. A well-aged product that might be a little bit underproofed, a touch. It's not Eagle Rare. You can't get that. It's not Harry McKenna. You can't get that, but it is 10 years old. 10-year-old product, probably from a major distillery at 90 proof. I'm pretty sure is what it is.
Don't say my last one.
It's Bullet 10. Bullet 10 is so underrated to me. It's so good. It hits.
That's the one I've been.
That's a great beginner bourbon. I feel like if you want to give somebody a good bourbon, I wouldn't do.
And to be honest, that's what I wrestle with, because I'm pretty sure that the Bullet Bourbon was a limited product, and that's what made me nervous about calling it out. I don't know if other people.
No, it's not limited.
Yeah, I thought it was one of their limited releases, unless they called limited release, but they keep putting it out.
Moses was here. Yeah. Eric said, how did that last that long? It's just, Bullet goes like bourbon geeks don't geek out about Bullet. You know how long it's been since I tried Bullet barrel strength? A long time. I had, I think, batch 1 and 2, and I haven't gone back to it, but I should. And I should get another Bullet 10 because it's really, really good. All right, I'm timing you. We're down to our last picks now.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna go with a wild card.
You can
and I'm
risk
saying
it now. You can risk a veto now.
My last pick is going to be Belle Mead Reserve.
Dang it! Gosh! Oh, that's a good pick. And that was my last pick. That's frustrating. Rats. That's all I have to say about that. Good pick. Really, really, really good pick. I mean, that's hit or miss, but for an that didn't used to be available. I think it has graduated into availability. I know you can get it here. It was all over Arizona when I was down there. So now I got to figure this out. Good pick, Brian. Proud of you.
It's tricky because in something like this is a weird competition because the availability makes it difficult for you and I to pick some of the smaller guys, which might give us more diversity and uniqueness.
Sure, but the smaller guys are just also not as good as these. These are just better. Like this, if we were allowing store picks, that would be one thing, but we're not. So, the small guys can crush with some store picks. All right, let me go through my list here. Oh, okay, yeah, this is an interesting play, and I can risk. So what I'll do is I will impose a sanction on myself. Nobody got vetoed. Tom's saying it's not in Ohio. I would not veto that because my experience has been very available. But I'll let Sawyer speak into it.
I'll just say, Tom, it's all over Tennessee.
I'm doing a lot of defending your picks, which let the record show that I was a sports person. There's a couple ways I can go. So again, I'm going to impose a sanction on myself because I'm going to drop something that has become available now. And if this gets vetoed, I won't do another product that could be vetoed. I'll make my final pick and that will be that. But I'm going to risk a veto here because there's no consequence of that. And again, I think this has become available. It's expensive. It's very good. It's probably too expensive for how good it is, but you can go get it now. You can get it here. I could have gotten it in Arizona. I could have gotten it in Kentucky. If I looked around, I know I can get it in these markets. And that's Calumet 15.
That's strong.
Sam Houston 15 I do not include because I've had a much harder time finding that, but I have seen Calumet 15. I passed on it probably 5 times. Tom says no veto on that, or maybe he was talking about the other one. But we'll wait for the wrenches to either affirm that pick or to disavow it.
There's so much writing on this sheet here
before we canonize these picks. So does Calumet 15 hold up, or do I need to throw out another whiskey? Peter Braddock gives a thumbs up. Tom Lynch says baller move. Well, that's how I play the game. Some people, they come out, they play for the money, they don't give it their all, but that's not how I play the game. I show up, I play to win every time. No compromises. If you guys haven't watched The Last Dance, you should watch The Last Dance. It's super good. Fantastic documentary. I watched a documentary last night on Anthony Bourdain with my wife, Alicia. Great person. Not Anthony Bourdain, my wife, Alicia, but Anthony Bourdain seemed to be an interesting dude, too. Really great documentary. Roadrunner is what it was called. Jay Coots allows it. He's not a wrench. Tom's good, though. Eric saw it. So, yeah, it looks like we have an affirmation of Calumet 15 as a reasonable pick. So let me check responses here. I'm going to put my last pick in here. And then I'm going to sign off Because Brian's logged in as my name too, so hopefully I should just be able to drop out and Brian can stay live, and then I can come back on in my phone in a minute. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom while people vote. So Tom, if you could share the link one more time. The thing is up to date and purged, so you all now go vote, and I'm going to exit out of this. So I'm going to allow Tom. We're going to give it probably 15 minutes, and then we'll let Tom declare the winner. And then there will be somebody singing. But Brian and I cannot vote to honor system there that neither one of us is going to vote. I think, yeah, my battery is on death's door. So, yeah. I'm going to drop.
And then there was one. It's just me. Am I as blurry as I think I am right here? Here we go. Here's the deal, guys. You guys got, I know that you're wanting to vote. And you got to do so what I'm curious about too. Well, we'll talk about it later. No, he just didn't bring his charger home for his computer. And so he's got to switch over to the phone, which I saw he has here. So I guess he's interjecting a potty break and then picking up the phone and jumping in because he's live. I see his other phone. I'll have to add it to the stream. So here's the deal. I get login privileges now to StreamYard. So now I need to know. Do you all want me to start going live too? Because now I have actually figured out how to do it. Well, actually, I haven't figured out how to do it. But I'm seeing all the stuff back here. Oh, Drew didn't want me on right now. Maybe he's still walking to the bathroom. I don't know. Just motion to me like this, Drew, when you're ready to go. When you're ready to go, I can't hear you. I see him. You guys can't see him. I see him. No, Drew, please pull him back up. Pull him back up, Drew. Stop. It's a family program. Drew. All right, dude. Nope, that's a full moon, Drew. It's a full moon where you live. Okay. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, Jay, I don't know exactly what's going on. I think a round by round would be cool too. And maybe we could do round by round after this. We'll just tell everybody in the chat. So we could do a general one. And we can go round by round. That's cool. Doesn't bother me at all. I need to pour something else, guys. What am I gonna pour while waiting for Drew to finish going to the bathroom or whatever he's doing? Matthew. This guy is crazy. You're right, Jordan. It is for the after party. Golly. Go live all the time and I will throw you with butterflies. Thanks, sweetheart. That sounds amazing. I saw your comments on the live or the video for Mash and drums and Cam on there too. And you were throwing those butterflies up because he was throwing so much shade at Blue Run on that stream.
Who was doing this?
Jason was he just went on some. He hadn't done one in a while, and he was in his video. He was just going on some blue rants. So,
was it the young single barrels? Was that what he was trouncing on, or was?
I actually don't. He was practicing. He was practicing. Yeah, Tony, I did. Thank you so much, dude. Oh dang, Kyle's going hard on Blue Run too. We did flip flop, Matthew. I'm sorry. I took over ownership. Of this stream. Yeah, I apologize. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now.
Camera thing. It was
I'm the captain now.
Thing, but we got through most of the content before I had to bounce over to
Tony. Here's what's interesting. I want to say this to you, Tony. Before I have not done a video of anything on this yet, but I will tell you that the Bull Run BP1 and the Copper Sky and the Penelope American Light Whiskey are so similar to one another. So similar. They're really, really close. So I don't know what the price was on that Copper Sky. I mean, we obviously know what the price of those Bull Runs were. They were super cheap. And cheaper than the Penelope too. So.
Oh my
anyway,
gosh.
That'd be what's up? Are there results somewhere?
Yeah, there are, but I'm not going to say. So we'll let it run for 10 minutes. 10 more
How
minutes.
do you see it? Oh, you can see it because you made it. I can't see it unless I vote, and I'm not going to vote.
Yeah, and I guess Tom can't see it either. But
okay,
I can
so
see it. So I'll screenshot it.
Well, I'll tell you this too. The guys, I don't want to say the guys, the crowd, Nathan seems to want to, that's what I was doing, Eric, seemed to want to go line by line. So we've given them some time to vote here. Why don't we go round by round and let them throw it out in the chats too, just so we can have
real
some
quick
hype and engagement fun.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. We got a little bit of time here. So Tom, why don't you throw that link in here one more time, and then we'll just give a couple more minutes and let the winner be clear. And then, we can discuss through it and just see round by round how people felt. So we'll just throw it up and then we'll see how the comments come in versus like conducting an actual survey for each one. Because the game was who has the best team of whiskeys. Man, this old fashioned, the 1792 old fashioned with the little Booker's mixed in. The Booker's made it. Like, I'm not a Booker's guy, but I'm a big blending guy. I believe you can
17 years, well,
take a product and make it significantly better by being a dank blender. I feel like that's what I've done. A little ice too and a cherry. I did buy some more Traverse City bourbon cherries. So maybe I won't
Kyle
more and then I'll take one up for the wife.
Kyle did mention he was surprised not seeing the 1792, man. I never see anything except for the regular. Wait, did he say 1792 or someone said 1970? What? I think he meant to say 1792.
Yeah, I mean,
I would never say foolproof because it seems like it's super allocated. I'd never say bottle and bond because it seems super allocated.
Foolproof used to be
I'd never say single barrel
because
it seems like it's super allocated. I feel like small batch is the only thing, and I personally just don't have a lot of experience with it to be able to put it up there.
Sure.
I feel like some of the foolproofs, if they hit, they're great, but I don't think I could ever say that that's a regular product.
Yeah.
See, Andrew Beck keeps saying that the ball and bond's his jam. I'm gonna next time I see one, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna try it.
It's the most banana-y of the entire line.
See, that's not my jam.
Yeah.
That's not my jam. But I give it a try.
Brian, I'm ready to call this thing.
Okay. You got that much of a lead?
No.
It's fine.
No.
It's fine.
And I'm actually surprised. I felt like I performed. But it's totally subjective. But it's not that subjective apparently. Yeah, you manhandled me. It seems like you've got right now 67% of the vote, where I have 33.3. So yeah, you have 2/3 of the vote. Just to recount what Brian had: Old Forester 1920, Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, Elijah Craig Small Batch, Four Roses Small Batch Select. Maybe you got points for that over single barrel. Do people prefer? This would be an interesting question. What do you prefer, small batch select or single barrel from Four Roses? You brought out a hitter that I didn't think of. I didn't consider it with the Jack Daniel's barrel strength single barrel. That I felt like was points. Evan Williams 1783 felt like a throwaway, but maybe it wasn't. Maker's Cask, that was on my list, and Belle Mead Reserve was also on my list. So you played well, and seems like, yeah, again, I disagree with Nation, but they are it's not even close, so it doesn't matter. I picked Russell's Reserve single barrel, Knob Creek single barrel, Four Roses single barrel, Wild Turkey Rare Breed, Redemption, Cask Strength 9-year, Noah's Mill, Bullet 10-year, and Calumet 15. And 27 votes later, 2/3 of the people are.
Well, you were asking what people prefer. Why don't we go line by line?
Yeah, line by line.
To see.
Let's do that. Let's go line by line.
Round for round.
Okay. So first round, this computer is on death's door. Why don't you? No, I didn't write it down. I wrote them here. So you wrote it down, Brian. So you take us through each round. Round 1, first picks. First draft pick, number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, Old Forester 1920.
You had the first pick. You went OFO 1920. I went Russell's Reserve single barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Old Forester 1920 was very, very high on my list. Everybody loves that one, but I felt like Russell's Reserve single barrel was a solid comebacker. Nation, what are your thoughts on that? If you have to pick one of those, which one are you picking? JW says the Russell's Reserve. Peter says 1920. Tom 1920. Jeff 1920. People are big 1920 people. I'm surprised that this product is still on the shelf with how much people seem to like it.
Do we have numbers of how much of that they actually make?
No, we have no idea. Enough.
I mean, it's pretty balanced. See, now the Russell's Reserve's coming in. It's pretty balanced, dude. It's almost over on your favor.
I mean, it's like 1920 for. No, yeah, no, okay. It seems like 1920 still has the edge there. Porkin says 1920, but only because Russell's Reserve is $80. Ow, that stinks.
Yeah, it was 75 for me to pick one up yesterday.
The quality of the juice, Porkins. It's not the price. It's fine. It's all good. I did pick some expensive whiskeys. Maybe that hurt me in the voting. Maybe it was a subtle. People felt better about the whiskeys because they were cheaper, even though I said do it on the juice. But that's fine. I will submit that I got my butt kicked. JW 1920 is good when you first open the bottle. After that, it gets worse for some reason. That's not been my experience, but that's okay. All right, round number 2. What was that?
Round number 2 was Kentucky Spirit versus Knob Creek Single Barrel.
I'm not going to say anything. I just want to see what Nation says here and how these votes come in here. OCD says none of his daily drinkers were. Oh, that's another. We'll get to that at the end here.
Dude, Knob Creek crushed this round.
Yeah, right. Yeah. At least through the first 10 people here. Okay. Well, we'll call that a win. So we'll say Brian won round 1, Drew won round 2. We'll get to the question at the end. What did we leave off that we should have thrown in? But hold your peace until we get to the end here. All right. So round 3. Go ahead.
Round 3 was Elijah Craig Small Batch versus Four Roses Single Barrel. Oof.
Sound off, Nash. Yeah, Knob Creek really did clean house there.
It really did. It was a good one.
It was the Knob Creek single barrel, the 9-year, just for record. Andrew Surfling, Four Roses, Peter Braddock, Elijah Craig.
Oh, they're going back and forth. This is actually a really tough one,
Elijah
too.
Craig. Whoops. Four Roses, Elijah Craig. Four Roses, Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig. Four Roses, Elijah Craig. Wow, this seems very split. Yeah, I think we need somebody to break the tie because I'm pretty sure it's deadlocked here. Connor L is the last comment I see. Oh, there we go. Coots, Four Roses. Matt, Four Roses. Terrence, Four Roses. It looks like Four Roses has the Matt Dorman, my boy, Four Roses.
Yeah, it's ahead right now.
Yeah, Four Roses is ahead. So unless Elijah Craig wants to make a comeback here, it's going to go to Four Roses. Give it another hot second, and then we'll call it. All right, Four Roses has it. So I'm up 2-1 right now in picks, but there's a lot of ball left to be played, and I already lost the game, so it is what it is.
All right, we'll go
Round
into this one's interesting. This one's interesting. Round 4 is Four Roses Small Batch Select versus Rare Breed.
Sound off.
Some of these are tricky because when people look at it as a group, I imagine instead of pairing it like this, they're probably pairing Four Roses Small Batch Select versus Four Roses Single Barrel.
Yeah, to an extent they probably are, but we can come back to that question too.
It's interesting.
So we started with who was it? So OCD was the first one to comment on this. Rare Breed. Kentucky Owl Confiscated was not on either of our lists. No. Rare Breed. Four Roses, Rare Breed, Four Roses, Rare Breed, Four Roses, Rare Breed, Draw, Rare Breed, Four Roses, Rare Breed. Seems like Rare Breed has the edge here as well.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Calling it for Rare Breed.
Round 5. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof versus Redemption 9-year barrel proof.
Dude, this would be a great blind to do this blind.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, that would actually be hard to figure out who's going to win too.
I posted that Redemption 10.
Andrew's still not having this Jack Daniels. I mean, everybody else is in the chat. Let's make that quite clear.
So Jeff says Jack Daniels. OCD says Jack. Johnny Jack. People have not had redemption. I'm going to keep preaching this redemption gospel, the gospel of redemption, which, I mean, come on, right? Kyle Ramage says Jack. Kyle, have you even had the redemption? Gosh.
No one wants your boring MGP anymore, man. We've moved on. It's 2022. Give it the time.
You guys can move on, and I'll keep buying it. I'll just bank that, and I'll be a happy man. I'd say in my maturation,
the Redemption Rye barrel proof. The Redemption Rye was on my list too. But
the rye, like this isn't even bourbon, but I'm gonna throw it down. I was drinking that last night, and it's so good. Like I think it's better than any of my Michter's rye products. But I will yield. I get that. I get why people.
Whiskey Roast throwing out the Bob Marley reference.
I missed it. Oh, Redemption song, nice. Yeah, I'm here for that as well. All right. So right now it's 3-2 in the whiskey by whiskey face off. Round number 6.
Round number 6 is Round number 6 is Evan Williams 1783 versus Noah's Mill.
That's a weird
lineup.
Yeah, let's see.
1783 versus Noah's Mill.
I'm curious to see how this one comes out.
Do people really hate Willet distillate so much that they will take the 90 proofer?
Just don't taint people's opinions. We trust them. They're smart enough to think for themselves.
I like that we have more passes this round.
Pass. All right, so here we go. Tom starts us with Evan Williams, 1783. Yeah, Jeff passes. What did I just do? I don't know how to. Anyway, Jeff is just going to be up there forever. I need to get a count here. So, tie, then 1783, Evan Williams. Evan Williams, no, it's so tie, 1783. I don't like either, says Porkins. That's fine. So, still tie, Noah, pass, Evan Williams, Noah, Evan Williams. It seems very drawish.
Gosh, so
Unless
No,
somebody-
it's totally 1783.
No, I think Eric put 1783 1 up, and then Chris R put 1783 2 up. So we'll give it another sec, and then if nobody else comes in, I'm willing to give it to 1783, which blows my mind. In a blind, I'm like, no freaking way. But that's fine. Again, that's not what this game is. I'm just learning humility right now, which is good. I need to.
There's at least 12 votes in for 1783. That's surprising.
1780. Yeah, I would agree. I am very surprised with that, but cool. So now it's
Dude, this is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun.
This is a good. I gotta say, really good stream here. I feel like this is rich content, and I'm learning things. So
round 7, Maker's Mark Cask Strength versus Bullet 10-year.
Another great like head-to-head.
Gosh, yeah, this is great.
All right, y'all. Let's see what you got to say. Say what you need to say, okay? I want you to go full John Mayer and say what you need to say.
Porkins, let me go ahead and say, too, I'm really like proud that you're here because I know that the game is on. So thanks for still being here.
Which game?
Well, I thought he was leaving to watch soccer at 7, which would have been 45 minutes ago. The USA game's on right now, and I haven't been keeping up with what's going on.
Yeah, I think you can kind of watch soccer and listen to Bourbon though. But yeah,
they're 41 minutes in. And there's no score yet. That's like every US game that I've gone to. Thanks. I'm so glad you're here, man.
Jeff passed on this one. JW says makers, bullet, makers wins by a billion years.
Yeah, Whiskey Roast. Hey, I don't know your name. I'm sorry, man, but I know we talk on Instagram too, or I see you on Instagram too. Yeah, we did 2 things. There was a link at first, and we basically just did teams. So it was Drew's 8 picks versus my 8 picks, and we already know what the results were.
Brian
mainly.
won.
I mean,
yeah.
And so this one, then people were just saying they wanted to go head to head. So now we're just seeing round by round, which one takes it. So right now I'm up 4-3 with 1 round left. So yeah, and this is another one that's going to be really interesting. Okay, final round. Belle Mead Reserve.
That was a good draft.
Versus Calumet 15. Dang it. I'm a terrible reader, Whiskey Roast. I should have gotten that. Whiskey Roast. It could have just read the dang thing, but I let my imagination run wild.
Belle, Calumet, Belle. I mean, Belle is definitely the more accessible. So, like, I mean, accessible in terms of like, I know Calumet 15 is accessible. Well, never mind. I think we're having a
Calumet's cleaning up at the end.
Yeah. So Belle Mead had an initial lead, but yeah, Calumet came on strong after that. Yeah.
So it's 4-4. So my takeaway is either that they just don't like you, or they have pity for me, or
I think
they forgot, or they forgot that they thought I was you.
No, I think there were so many. You got so many points for Jack, big points for Jack, and big points for Makers. Both those.
This Calumet is destroying right now. Oh dang! Jeff said he tried Calumet 15. It tastes like 4-year Barton.
That was not my experience when I tried it.
People. So anyway, these are 16 products that are solid.
Yeah.
Ish. Well,
I mean, I would put a
within
stamp,
reason.
Whoa. I would definitely affirm any of these products. The ones that you mentioned, I thought were good picks. I thought Evan Williams 1783 and Elijah Craig were a little budgety, but Elijah Craig was also on my list. I did think about Evan Williams 1783, but I was like, nah. But,
Eric, I have finished an entire bottle of Kentucky Owl Confiscated. Can you say the same? I have finished an entire bottle of it.
So, Eric, are you team Confiscated? Are you vibing on that?
I can't.
I mean, because he keeps talking about it.
If I would have known you wanted a sample, man, I would have cut you some samples before I finished the bottle.
Me or Eric?
anyone.
No,
Literally would have sampled it to anybody.
it's so expensive. It's still out there.
It really
You
was.
you can still get it. It's
I'm trying to remember what I think, yeah, it's expensive.
All right, we're approaching 10, but I feel pretty good. We've done far less drinking on this stream than we usually do. Probably for the best. I did have one thing.
No, JW, confiscated is not worth $140. It's like a $55 whiskey.
Yeah, agreed. $55. I'm probably here for that. Brian, do you want to do a little live tasting from Dan? Like hit some more of the whiskey he gave us?
Oh, for sure.
Let's hit the Sam Houston. We're talking about Calumet 15, which is basically Sam Houston 15. And Dan Barber sent us batch number Texas-3 of Sam Houston 15. So I was gonna hit that.
You saw
wrapping it up.
You saw that I did another video this week that was Stag versus E.H. Taylor.
I did. Yeah, I watched it earlier today.
And I mainly did that in hopes that people would respond, which they are. You know, there's I keep seeing a lot of people who really like the E.H. Taylor, and then it's just nice to hear people's thoughts on all the Stags. You know, because I haven't been able to keep up with all the different batches, so it's good to hear people talking about it. It's good to know that people have found a product that they enjoy when the big Stags. So.
Yeah, I mean, Stag Junior, I think is great. I've always been very into Stag Junior. Enjoyed it a lot. Of course, can't really get big Stag, but I'm using 2 Four Roses bottles right now as a tripod. Again, I apologize for the AV on my end. Hopefully, you enjoyed it the first hour 15 before I suffered the consequences for forgetting my charger. All right, I have 9.
Eric, not everybody watches our streams, man. So I wanted to take out the pick out of it as well, because I feel like doing it again, the pick was so close in profile to the Stag that it would just give it away.
Golf Clash Stewie, that sounds like my new best friend. I don't know what that is, but I saw golf and that sounds delightful. Oh, Kyle says he can get never mind. I'm going to put that in the DMs, but I just saw Tom's message to Kyle. I would affirm what Tom just told Kyle. I'll leave it at that. Andrew Surfling, great question here as we taste this Sam Houston 15. What is the worst bourbon that you own? So the one I own right now, that's the worst. I'll look in a minute, but Brian, that's a good exercise for you too. Is there a particular bourbon you have right now that you're just like, this is not good? Or what's the worst one that you own? I have really filtered my collection to not have a lot of crap. Like if there's something I don't like, I tend to give it away, but I'll take a gander now. Worst bourbon that I own. That's the challenge. I'll holla back at you in just a second, but scanning.
Hey, that's man. What's up? I need to come see you, man. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, you need to get that cut.
He's not that far away.
Honestly, Surfling, dude, I have really good whiskey and that's it. Like I do give away the whiskeys I don't like. So the worst one I have literally is probably like the standard Smoke Wagon.
Philip,
not the Smoke
180
wagon,
is
the standard Smoke Wagon because it's
Philip said he found Discovery 4 today for 180. Man, that's it's pricey compared to its retail, but Disco 4 is really good. Really good. Yeah. So I mean, it all depends on what it's a lot of money for any bottle. So, I would say that finding Disco 4 is difficult to do these days, I would think, unless it's just sitting on some shelves in a market, which it sounds like it is. But it will be better than 5 and 6. And I don't know about 7 yet. So yeah, I haven't had 7, but Nation has been telling me that 6 is quite good, but I still have not had it. It was here. It's here actually. It was on my list, but I haven't tried it. So I'm like, that's a risky play, and I don't know that you could call it available. But it's $160 here, which is over MSRP, and that's stupid. you've got to also check if they have Disco 4 lying around. They probably don't. You got to check to see if they have some of their finished bottles still lying around too. If they by chance had an apple brandy finish lying around, you got to scoop that up, man. That would be a fantastic bottle. I doubt they would have the Chateau de la Borde.
Probably not.
But if they did, also fantastic. All right,
Blonde is
the nose.
It's very sweet.
The nose on this is that sugary earthiness, like almost like Elijah Craig 18, but not quite as oaky.
Sure, and a little bit. It's packing a little bit more of a heated wallop than that one. It's got plenty.
It's still got the medicinal. It's still got the medicinal tone to it. That like kind of licorice star anise kind of thing in there in the nose, but it's not very prominent. It's not like I notice it in the Four Roses.
Yeah, I get some smoky oak and I get some sweetness too. Not like rich. It's not buttercreamy. It's more caramely. Not even brown sugar. It's like smoky oak and caramel, which is kind of a unique juxtaposition. The quintessence of aged whiskeys are that creamy viscosity. Brian, you call it confectioner sugar.
Yeah,
sweet oak with nice spice without being too cinnamony. More like baking spices, allspice, pumpkin spice. But the nose,
you got me
nice.
ready for pumpkin spice lattes now.
If I'm blinding this and I smell this, I'm like, yeah, that spent some time in a barrel, and I'm excited to get into the palate. It's not a world-class nose, but it's a really nice nose.
You know, this gives you stuff that, like, you know, when we were in the Airbnb and we were trying the Four Roses 20 versus the Michter's 20. This is like a flatter version of some of the notes I was getting on that Michter's 20 nose, to be honest with you. Like, it has a similar pocket, but it's flatter.
I think it's probably a lot flatter than that. I think if you were tasting these side by side, you would never make that.
Yeah, well, you draft one, I draft the other, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
Okay. I would draft Michter's 20.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go in for taste.
Cheers. Definitely caramely on the sweetness. It doesn't get deeper than that.
And that is
richness. The oak is dry. It's a dry finish. Black pepper. It's like caramel and dry oak and black pepper. You're making a face. I'm not off put by it.
So, man, tight. We're drinking. We're trying this Texas 3 batch of Sam Houston 15. There's an earthiness to this that is pungent. I'll just say that's pungent.
Yeah, describe the earthiness. Are you talking like earth? Are you talking like grass? Are you talking like mushrooms? Like
no, I mean it's like barnyardy. There's like a 4-H. There's a level of 4-H going on in this that I can't escape.
It's got some FFA notes.
I've definitely called a couple of things this before, like maybe one or two, and people never let me live it down. But there's some barnyard elements to this pour in terms of earthiness.
You mean like fecal matter?
Hey, you said it, not me.
No, I'm asking the question because I don't get dung. I mean, I get some like old wood, like some cedar. And so in that sense, it's like old attic, but I don't get fecal matter. I don't get Hershey squirts, That's just really
Tom, you were right. I gotta have to get a shirt that says that. No, dude, I'm just saying it's got some barnyard funk to it. It's earthy. It's a little salty. I'm gonna have to think about this one for a second.
I want you to think about it long and hard.
Tight Cuts just realized that our names are switched because our video placement has switched.
Yeah, it was a long story. Go back and watch the whole stream.
Can we flip that? Can we flip it?
I think if you remove yourself from the stream and then add yourself back in.
Yeah, it's too much. That's too much work.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. It's fine. This will be the one that we switch names.
I did it. I'm a magician.
Perfect.
Daggone.
Good
I did
for
a
you.
blind
So,
with
yeah,
E.H. Taylor
I mean,
Barrel Proof 21, Stag Junior 15, JD and Old Forester. Results were E.H. Taylor, Jack Daniels, Stag Junior, Old Forester. I got the best sound drop out of my Roadcaster. Peter Griffin saying, I get notes of, well, feces. Dude, you got to tell me how that Roadcaster is. I think I saw one of your stories with that, and that's what I was telling Drew about. I was like, Drew, I kind of want to pick this Roadcaster up because it looks like it can do a lot, but I also don't know how much of that stuff is just, able to be done in post, as opposed to having it on dash. But I thought you could like save some stuff on it. Anyway, it looked like a cool little device. Let me go back to this again, man. It's
an adventure.
It's got some good. It is sweet and earthy.
A lot of
like
caramel.
real.
Yeah, I get that. The finish is not great. The finish is the hardest part to me. Is like after you're done, you're like, I don't really like. I'm not roaring to go back to that. Like a good bourbon, I drink fast because I like. Oh, that's so good. I want more of that. This one's like, oh, it starts really nice. The nose is, old bourbon barrel, old brick house, and I like that smell. But it just doesn't deliver it a delight of a pour. It's fine, but given the age and given the price, I'm a pass on it.
This is one of those pours that I feel like would be best outside or around a fire or when you're in company with people, because, when you're in company with people,
doesn't matter.
You're right. It does not at all, but you notice some of it. So if you like oakier pours, but you're definitely not in a place where you are going to spend any time paying attention to it, this delivers on a lot of those flavors. It's just so dang earthy.
Yeah, I hear you. It's fine. You want to do one more and then we'll call it a night? Magnus triple cask. The other one's from Dan. All right,
let's do it.
We're fast approaching 2 hours, so yeah, we'll do this and then we'll hang it up. It's been a fun stream. We'll definitely revisit this concept of the draft because that was just freaking fun.
Whiskey Roast, if you don't mind, I'll probably message you tomorrow. I want to hear more about this Roadcaster.
Before we sign off, I do want to say and would invite /ask. If you dig the content, like the video for sure, but consider sharing my videos, Brian's videos, the streams. Like the best help that you can give us is like share our stuff with other people. Like that's really it. If you're in a bourbon group on Facebook where I haven't already shared the video, share the video. That'd be sick. Also, you can sponsor a video by sending us samples. If you send us a blind, you can send it to me and Brian. You slide into our Instagram DMs at Drew P. Whiskey, at Abandoned Bourbon, and we'll do a video where we either see who can guess what the whiskeys are the best. Porkins does a really good job setting up these blinds, as have many other folks. Porkins is sort of the MVP, though, of blind setter-uppers, so there's a lot of competition there. But you can sponsor a live stream by basically sending us whiskey to taste. It's a good foundation for content. Dan did it when we did Stag against E.H. Taylor last week. That was a fun lineup for sure. Of course, we added
when
stuff
he did,
and
he did the Old Rip Van Winkle and Lot B.
Yeah. So Dan's come on
super cool.
Pretty fast here over a recent, real generous kind of contribution. Stag 15, which is by public opinion an all-time batch of Stag 15. I preferred the H. Taylor, but I did like the Stag 15 better coming back to it, but I still preferred the H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Brian preferred the Stag 15, but then we also, we did Old Rip 10 against Lot B from Dan. That was also really fun. So you can also contribute, but you don't have to drop Van Winkles. You can just send us a blind of crafts or whatever. We like to pick them apart. Maybe love them, maybe hate them. TBD.
Tom, I want to know what you think about that Penelope Toasty, because I have a bottle down here, and I thought about doing that for a video this week, but I passed on it. And then Tony, what do you think about that the Sealbox batch too? I had that last week too. I had that last week. OBSV, cool man, cool.
My clock is dead. Yeah, I need to get a new battery for it. It's been dead for like 6 months. So only channel insiders will pick up on that. All right, Magnus nose.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, sorry, I haven't poured it yet.
Oh,
it's my own fault. Not paying attention. Not paying
No,
attention.
it's nice. I'll talk about the nose.
I've only had, and I couldn't even tell you what it was, a pick. I mean, they used to do Magnus picks, right?
Yes.
I think I've only had one Magnus product ever.
Yeah, so there's Murray Hill, the bourbon, like the bourbon. There's the Magnus triple cask, finished bourbon, and then there's Cigar Blend, which I have had one batch of Cigar Blend.
I'd love a Cigar Blend. It sounds like it'd be really cool.
It's so good. I would love a bottle of that. That's on my like, oh yeah, I want that. Like, I'd probably take that above a Stag, honestly, because the one batch I had of it at a bar, I've had two pours of it. Extraordinary. Really, really,
49.
really, really, really good.
49.
All right, Magnus triple cask, dried fruits pronounced, and some orange and some roasted nut. I know it's not Dickel. Kind of smells a little bit like Dickel. But it's got some redness, some ready fruits. It's like moving
from
sherry,
right?
Into stone fruit. Yeah, I was thinking plum.
Well, you're getting those fruit notes from the sherry, and you're getting that citrus from the cognac.
All the fruits for sure. But it's got this medicinal, vitamin-y, mineral-y thing on the nose as well. Palate.
I'm not gonna lie. I keep thinking it's gonna be richer than it is. It's more spicy than anything.
Really?
On the nose.
No, I just get all fruits.
I mean, I'm getting fruits, but I thought when I think of something sherry finished, I'm assuming it's going to give you like give you the fruit notes, and then you know how I always say something like a saturated fruit, you get like that
Sticky.
The heft.
Yeah.
I don't get that. You get the fruits, and then it gets kind of hot on them. There's a ton of tags going.
Sure,
really desserty with some spice, nice mouthfeel too. The Penelope is good. Like it, don't love it. That's my opinion, dude. Had it around the fire. It was fantastic, sippable bourbon, or whiskey, whatever it is. Grabbed a Boone County single barrel 7-year the other day. Haven't opened it yet. Opinions. I have not had any of the new Boone County stuff, so I do not know.
I have, that Boone County 8-year weeded, and it's very, 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 very good. I need to give you a
hold on. How do I do? Do I just hold
you
on?
Just click on
it.
You click on
and I hit show.
Yeah.
Okay, you all are teaching me because here's the deal. Let me know. Nothing against Drew. There's just been times where he's like, "Hey, I can't do this. Do you want to go live?" And I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know how to monetize stuff. I still probably won't. I don't know how to live. I don't know how to do anything. So I just pop up into other people's feeds when given the chance. So if you all would want me to, on occasion, do lives on the Band of Bourbon channel, not here on the Drew P. Whiskey channel, just leave me a thumbs up if you jump on. Just leave me a thumbs up.
I told Brian if I'm ever unavailable, he should definitely go live on his channel. And I gave him access to my StreamYard account to do so. Now he can. He's learning. And so, yeah, definitely encourage him to do so should I be unable to. Because if I'm on vacation, it's like, guys, I'm going to be on vacation. I'm not doing this. I love this, but I need to, be with my wife. We're doing it live. That's such a great clip.
I'm starting to learn how to do this.
You never watched Bill O'Reilly lose his mind. Just search Bill O'Reilly, do it live on YouTube.
Eric, I hope you appreciate that I've been trying to put my timestamps as the first text in my YouTube videos, so you know what to expect before a premiere. So
palate on this, Brian. And actually, I'm gonna taste one other thing because I said I would do this earlier, but this Quiet Man. But you tell us about your thoughts on the Magnus first.
This reminds me of something. I'm trying to place it. It might be like a Starlight, like a Starlight sherry finished or something like that, or a Starlight port finished. It's got a I can't tell if it's grain or like just a youthfulness. There's something there that meets like that the finishing note, like I notice in Starlight.
Yeah, it's the I mean, it was sherry, cognac, and what's the other one? Rum or something in the triple cask? I don't know what it is. And I know it's sherry, cognac, and something else. Port.
Tight cuts. I just picked up a duality. Well, I didn't pick it up. I ordered it. I don't know when it'll get here because it's seal box. I got a duality pick from Mash and Journey. So that's malted rye and malted barley. Like, will that suffice for you, tight cuts? Can we drink that and be friends?
Anyway, profile on this is fruity, but it's convoluted, man. It's like I pick up the cognac and I pick up the sherry, but it doesn't feel like it's not coalescing. It's convoluted, not coalescing. It is dry on the finish. I think I expected, given the price of this, for the whiskey itself to kind of play first fiddle, and the finishing, given the 3 different casks, to maybe be a little bit more subtle. But it's really fruity, and then it's dry, and it's kind of bitter. It's not really for me. Like, it's okay, but it kind of reminds me of like the Bardstown Ferrand, which I have up there, and it's going down very slowly because it's not awesome. It's fine, It's 7-year-old. That one's I think 7 and 11-year-old bourbon, but mostly 7. And then the finishing kind of hits you hard, and it's fine. It's a sweet bourbony thing. That's how I feel about Magnus. It's a sweet bourbony thing, and it's fine. And if you're introducing somebody to whiskey, they'll probably be into that. Like, they'll be okay with it. But if you're a big bourbon fan, some of these finishes take over, and they're good because they're sweet and fruity, but not what I want out of a bourbon. What are your thoughts, Brian?
It's is there a base is there a base Joseph Magnus product that this would be a triple cask finish of?
I don't think there is, dude.
So
Murray Hill, I guess, but I think Murray Hill's older. So
this might be similar to what you were saying, but I just taste like I don't know what the like I get this tannic quality that does actually remind me of sherry the more that I drink it, but I get a sweetness that reminds me of rum because it's got this kind of cotton candy, like fake kind of bubble gummy. There's a sweetness that is a little too intense.
Ferrand is better.
I just want a little, like, I can't tell if there's rye in it. I can't tell if there's bourbon. Like I can't pronounce any of the grains. Eric, we're drinking this Joseph Magnus triple cask finished 100 proof. I want to address some of these things. So someone said, what's the deal with duality? Just saw 2 different bottles of it the other day. I don't know, actually. I just saw that. So Scott from My Bourbon Journey and Jason from Mash and Drum, they did 2 picks from ASW, and they went for sale yesterday. So they sold out too. I don't know if you saw that or you saw them somewhere else, but I don't have any of the ASW, to my knowledge, products in Kentucky or in Louisville. Johnny 5, Duality is an American malt whiskey from ASW in Atlanta. Yeah, the dude sounded hecka knowledgeable when he was talking about his stuff. I think his name is Wit, and I've not kept tabs on that brand, but he seems super knowledgeable about what they're doing there, as I would hope someone who works there would. But it was just cool to see his retort to any of their questions so quickly. For
the record, I just went to the Ferrand after the Magnus. The Ferrand is better. It's a little more rich. It gets.
I've not tried that. I don't think.
Yeah, I can give you a sample of that too. I mean, when you come up, maybe we just have
Cheers,
people
Tony.
over.
Thanks for jumping in, man.
Maybe that's what we do on Friday when you're here. We just have people over and we drink my bourbon, and you can bring a few samples or something. All right, we got to wrap it up. It's getting late, so I'm gonna bottle pop this. Thanks to Luxco. Again, this is the first whiskey I've received from a major distiller as part of being on a mailing list, so it feels like arriving to an extent.
Let's give a round of applause
to
for
Luxco.
Drew.
Shout out Luxco.
I don't know if there's a clap emoji on here. I'm gonna try and find it. People can copy it. I think there's
Yeah,
one.
I didn't want to beg for samples. I don't want to send me your samples, but if they were gonna like offer to put me on their mailing list, I'm like, yeah, let's do that. But I also wasn't like super stoked to get Irish whiskey as my first get. But whatever.
I had a company reach out to me and they said, "Hey, love what you're doing. Wanna send you a bottle of this product for you to review it on your channel." And I said,
no.
"I'd be interested in trying your product, but I've not had your product before, and I'm not going to take stuff and tell you that I'm going to post anything about it."
Of course, yeah.
And I did not hear from them, but I continue to watch a lot of other people get their products. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I won't commit to putting anybody's stuff on it, but like on a live stream, I'm totally fine to like, hey, let's just try this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So to be fair, I didn't commit to share this.
Well, and you trashed Irish whiskey, so I really
did.
hope
I
you
trashed it hard. I said it sucked. This is Untitled Chapter, The Quiet Man, single malt Irish whiskey, 8 years old, oak bourbon cask matured, bottled in Derry, Northern Ireland. I looked for this at the liquor store today. That was a weak bottle pop. Very weak.
Yeah, that was
overlubed. 80 proof.
Definitely,
too.
they definitely fill that one with Vaseline.
Yeah, only 80 proof on this. And like I think I'd referred to Irish whiskey as diet Scotch. So
no, it was not. It was not good times. It was not good times. I think. Yeah, it was not good times. But either way, I thought maybe they'd follow back and be like, "That's okay. Like, we still think you should try it." No, didn't happen, which is fine. I do not care. But you know, I had to, and Drew probably does too. I've dealt with a lot of that stuff in influencer marketing, with coffee. I wrote about coffee, but I also loved coffee. And I had a couple of people that I just knew would like message the roasters all the time, like, "Hi, send me every one of your coffees."
Yeah. How would you just?
And I've been on the
and
I've been on the receiving end of that. I quills. I just
awful. Yeah.
So I imagine people do it in everything. It's what it is.
Yeah, and that's why I've said I'm not going to reach out to anybody to ask for stuff. If they want to send me stuff, happy to. And by and large, I'll talk about it and just share what I think. And if they want to keep sending me stuff, great. If they're like, "No, man, you crap on our stuff," like, fine. It is what it is, right?
What's that one thing they put out? They're gonna send you dude, you gotta speak so nicely of this. Maybe they'll send you a Rebel Yell 99.
Remus 6. That's I'm hoping for Remus 6.
I honestly don't even know what Luxco makes. I should probably pay attention.
Luxco and MGP/Ross and Squibb are now in cahoots.
That's right. No, dude, you wouldn't get anything and not under the Luxco umbrella though.
Well, I got an Irish whiskey, so
touche. Touche.
Yeah, so that's under the Luxco brand in terms of American whiskey that I'm aware of, Ezra Brooks, Rebel Yell, and then the MGP Remus stuff. That's what I'm aware of. But I didn't know that they own this. But hey, they own this Irish whiskey too, which is so malty grainy.
You're right. They do Blood Oath.
Yes, correct. It's also got this kind of Kool-Aid, like a Kool-Aid cherry, not like a deep, rich bourbon cherry, but a Kool-Aid cherry. It's like Kool-Aid and the fresh baked bread note that I get in bourbon that I don't like because it reminds me it's young bourbon, but it shows up in malt whiskeys because it's malty, barley kind of note.
Terrence, now, I don't know if that's true or not. I couldn't remember if they are the same. I think they are. You might be right. I went and did a pick at Yellowstone, I don't remember, a month or so ago. I like the Yellowstone stuff though. I had a good time there. That's a cool pick process.
I think I tasted one Yellowstone pick. That I haven't had a lot of Yellowstone. I haven't been impressed I know I've tried it before. I haven't been impressed, but I need to taste more to really form a cohesive.
Yeah, their pick process. Did I talk about this after I did it before on this channel? They you go through 3 barrels, but you try them at 3 different picks, and he keeps track of what you like in which ones, and he does some sort of mathematician thing and says, if I were you all, I would pick this one at this proof today. So you try nine things in total, because they barrel it. They do picks at I want to say 101 or 103, but I think it's 101, 107, and 115. We ended up with a 115 something. It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I was pleasantly surprised. Keep going.
Nice. To me, I get honey and fresh bread, a touch of citrus, and red delicious apples. It's chewy. And this is what I like about malt whiskeys. Chewy. Big viscosity on these things. Even at 80 proof. Not really short on flavor, just too bready. I know people who will love this. Like if I know people who are like, I like whiskey, they're gonna love this crap. Like it's gonna be right up their alley. For me as a bourbon fan or somebody who likes more intense Scotch, higher proof, ideally, it's just really bready. But it's inoffensive even in its breadiness. It's not like a young bourbon can be bready and aspiriny and make you feel like you just ingested poison. It's definitely not that. But yeah, the nose is excessively bready.
Can you compare it to proper 12 for us?
What?
Can you compare it to proper 12 for us?
I cannot. I've not had proper 12. I wasn't eager to drop my money on a Conor McGregor whiskey. Doesn't seem qualified. The palate is much better than the nose. I do like the chewy body, but I'm left with the bread. So if you like a bready whiskey, you like a malt forward Scotch, maybe this. It's not for me. So radical transparency. I'm probably going to give this away because I'm not going to reach for it. Although, to be fair, my dad, he likes Classic Laddie from Brookladdock. Very similar to that, actually. Maybe a little less salty. You know, there's no ocean kind of influence on this, but similar profile. So,
did you? This is a way back when, but did you answer the question of what your least favorite bourbon is?
I did. I said mine was the Smoke Wagon Standard, but I have very good whiskey now. I don't have a lot of bad whiskey, so that's it. You've been on a lot of picks, so you have a lot of stuff that has been sent to you too. So what would you say is your least favorite?
It is something from Limestone Ranch. I don't know what it is. It's some experimental something, and it is.
How did you get it? You got to say how you got it. Maybe you don't.
Somebody said, "Hey, I want you to try this and see what you think about it." And I said, "This is awful." And they said, "Ha ha ha ha, yeah, it is."
They give you a whole bottle.
Pass it on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's a small bottle. Their experimental ones are like $3.75. So.
Oh, okay.
Eric Sawyer, I saw your shelf. It was pretty nice looking, man. You had the old row of the Four Roses and the row of the Elijah Craigs. It looked fire, man.
Yeah,
good.
I'm team discrimination in terms of that sounded bad. Oh, that sounded so bad. I am team discernment in terms of buying whiskeys that are good. Like you only.
I mean, better than team discrimination, right?
Yeah, I meant discrimination relative to whiskey. Cheapers. Eric was making fun of me. Eric does curate his collection, and he's a wise buyer. He doesn't spend a lot of money on stuff he doesn't know. My recommendation is to buy whiskey you know is good. And if you don't like whiskey, don't make yourself drink it. Give it to somebody who will like it. That's my philosophy. Yeah, now I'm getting made fun of. That's fine. I'm just saying that over time I've stopped buying whiskeys that I don't know are good. Like I don't buy a lot of whiskeys being like, I wonder if this is good. I want to try a lot of whiskeys, but I'm not raring to invest money in whiskeys that I'm like, we'll see.
It was not white corn. It's red something. That's all I know. It's I don't have it here. It's in the car.
Oh, so, Tight Cuts gave you that?
No. He's saying that he has one that's white corn. They have some experimental stuff because they have small barrels there. They have a little shed with some little tiny guys. Oops, sorry. Already unhit that.
All right. Are you good?
Dude, I'm so good.
All right.
I've got is Duke playing right now? Because I think I got some games to watch. Actually, no, there's
I don't
know. Morgan's doing a stream over on Instagram, so I'll probably pop over there if my phone's gonna allow me to.
Have fun. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed that. Y'all seem to hang with us pretty well tonight, so appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Nation. It's a fun night.
Reach out. Feel free to DM on the Instagram, so I could actually DM a couple people back because I'm slow. I'm slow on the DMs, but I will respond eventually. Have a good night, y'all. You know the drill.
Cheers, everybody.
Do your thing and keep it neat.